She isn't who she says she is. That is when I realized the truth. I was standing in my family's living room, surrounded by the familiar smell of old books and freshly brewed coffee. My husband, whom I had married just a week ago, was chatting with my parents, laughing and smiling as if he had known them his whole life. But then, I overheard the whisper. It was a soft, hesitant voice, barely audible, but it sent shivers down my spine. I felt a sudden chill run down my back as I turned to face the speaker, my mind racing with questions. Who was this person? How did they know my husband? And what did they mean by their cryptic words? I tried to brush it off as mere gossip, but the seed of doubt had been planted. As I looked at my husband, I couldn't help but wonder, was he hiding something from me? The room seemed to spin, and I felt like I was living in a dream. Everything I thought I knew about my marriage, my husband, and my life was about to change forever. I still remember the day my parents told me about the arranged marriage. I was 24 years old, and they had been searching for a suitable husband for me for what felt like an eternity. They presented me with a photograph of a handsome young man with a charming smile, and I was expected to agree to marry him without even meeting him. I was torn between my duty to my family and my desire for love and autonomy. But I eventually agreed, hoping that our union would bring happiness to both our families. The wedding was a grand affair, with hundreds of guests, lavish decorations, and a sea of unfamiliar faces. I felt like a puppet on strings, going through the motions without any control over my life. As I exchanged vows with my husband, I couldn't help but wonder what the future held for us. Would we find love? Or would our marriage be a mere arrangement? The days that followed were a blur of activity as we settled into our new life together. My husband, whose name was Min, seemed kind and gentle, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that he was hiding something from me. I tried to push the thought aside, focusing on getting to know him better, but the whisper in the living room had ignited a spark of curiosity within me. As the days turned into weeks, I began to notice small inconsistencies in Min's stories. He would mention a childhood friend, only to forget their name later. He would talk about his family, but the details seemed vague and unclear. I tried to brush it off as mere forgetfulness, but the whisper in the living room had planted a seed of doubt in my mind. One day, while exploring our new home, I stumbled upon a hidden room in the attic. It was locked, but I managed to pick the lock, and what I found inside shocked me to my core. There were photographs of men with a woman I had never seen before, laughing and embracing each other. There were letters, written in a language I couldn't understand, but the tone seemed intimate and passionate. I felt like I had been punched in the gut, my world turned upside down. Who was this woman? What was their relationship? And why had Min kept it a secret from me? I felt a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and confusion. I didn't know what to do, or who to turn to. But I knew I had to confront Min, to demand the truth from him. As I walked back downstairs, I saw Min sitting in the living room, a calm and peaceful expression on his face. But I knew that I was about to shatter that peace, to uncover the secrets that he had been hiding from me. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my racing heart, and approached Min. "We need to talk," I said, my voice firm but trembling slightly. Min looked up, a hint of concern in his eyes, but he nodded and followed me to the garden. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape, but I was oblivious to the beauty around me. I was focused on the truth, on uncovering the secrets that Min had been hiding from me. "Who is she?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Min's expression changed, a mix of guilt and fear crossing his face. "Who is who?" he asked, trying to feign ignorance, but I knew he was lying. "The woman in the photographs," I said, my eyes locked on his. "The one you've been keeping secret from me." Min sighed, his shoulders slumping in defeat. "I can explain," he said, his voice weak and hesitant. And then, he told me the truth. The truth about his past, about the woman, and about our marriage. I listened, my heart heavy with emotion, as the puzzle pieces fell into place. I realized that nothing was as it seemed, that our marriage was a complex web of secrets and lies. But, as I looked into Min's eyes, I saw something there, something that gave me hope. A glimmer of love, of sincerity, of a desire to make things right. As the truth sank in, I felt a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and confusion. But, as I looked at Min, I saw a man who was flawed, imperfect, and human. I realized that our marriage was not a lie, but a complex web of secrets and misunderstandings. And, as we sat there, holding hands, I knew that I had a choice to make. I could walk away, or I could stay and fight for our love. I chose the latter. We worked through our issues, through the secrets and the lies, and we emerged stronger on the other side. Our marriage was not perfect, but it was real. And, as I looked into Min's eyes, I knew that I had found my partner, my friend, and my soulmate. The whisper in the living room had been a wake-up call, a reminder that nothing is as it seems, and that the truth is often hidden beneath the surface. But it had also led me to a place of growth, of self-discovery, and of love. And, for that, I am eternally grateful.